She mocked my salary like it was a joke everybody deserved to hear. I didn't argue. I just watched her say it out loud. Stay with me, because one calculation changed everything. It was one of those dinners Lena loved. Dim lighting, loud laughter, people talking over each other like volume was proof of confidence. Her friends picked the place. I showed up on time, paid for our ride there, and sat down like I belonged. I work utilities for the city. Water lines, inspections, emergency calls when something breaks. It's steady work. It's also invisible until your sink won't drain and your street is flooding. Halfway through appetizers, someone asked what I did. I answered, simple. The table nodded like they'd already moved on. Then the question landed, how much do you make? I didn't like it, but I didn't get defensive. Enough, I said. I'm good. Lena smiled in a way that felt sharp. She reached into her purse, pulled out my folded pay stub, and held it up like a prop. I told you he was proud of it, she said, laughing. Look. The table leaned in. A few eyebrows lifted. A few laughs came out. And Lena said, clear as day, it's embarrassing. I felt my stomach drop, but my voice stayed level. Put that away. She waved it off. Why? It's just numbers. You're so sensitive. No, I said. I'm private. She tilted her head, like privacy was a childish habit. You're not private. You're predictable, she said. That's the problem. You're boring. You're too comfortable. There it was. The trio she loved. Boring, predictable, comfortable, like peace was something to be ashamed of. Then she glanced across the table at her phone and said the name she'd been sprinkling into our lives for weeks. Caleb cleared more than this last month, she said. Caleb, the flashy alternative, the risk with a jawline and a leased car. He was the guy from her wealth meetup, the one who posted screenshots of trading gains and called it income. He talked about exits and generational plays and acted like a salary was a disease. Every time Lena said his name, her eyes lit up like she was watching a trailer for the life she wanted. I looked at Lena, not her friends. Is this what you wanted tonight? I asked. To humiliate me? She shrugged. I want you to wake up. I'm awake, I said. She leaned back and said it like a conclusion she'd already reached. You're not ambitious. You're safe in a pathetic way. I took a slow breath. I chose my job, I said. On purpose. She laughed again, louder, like she needed the room on her side. Of course you did. Because you're afraid. That's when she dropped the sentence that ended it. Short, clean, mean. A man on a salary is a man with a ceiling. Ceiling. Like I was a room she was tired of standing in. The table went quiet for a second, the way it does when someone realizes they crossed a line and can't uncross it. I nodded once. Okay. Lena blinked. Okay, what? Okay, I said, calm. If you need someone without a ceiling, go get him. On the ride home, she kept poking at it, like she couldn't accept that I wasn't going to fight for approval. You could trade, she said. You could start something. You could stop being average. I kept my eyes on the road. Average doesn't scare me, I said. Being unstable does. She scoffed. You're obsessed with stability? I'm committed to it, I said. At home, she followed me into the kitchen, still buzzing with that restless energy she called passion. Caleb says comfort is a cage, she said. I turned, finally facing her. Comfort isn't a cage when you built it, I said. It's protection. She stared at me like protection was an insult. You talk like an old man. I didn't snap. I didn't beg her to understand. I just felt something settle in my chest. Clarity. That night, after she went to bed, I sat at the table with a pen and paper. Not to compete, not to win, to see the truth. Because Lena kept acting like my paycheck was the whole story, and it wasn't. I wrote my salary. Then I wrote everything attached to it. Insurance that actually covers things, retirement match, paid time off, sick days, the kind of job where a broken tire doesn't turn into a crisis. Then I wrote what Lena believed about Caleb, because she showed me his posts like they were evidence. Big green numbers, 5-figure days, 6-figure months. And I did the one calculation she never did. I took his claimed income and subtracted the cost of looking like a winner. The lease, the high-rise rent, the flights, the dinners, the ads, the business expenses he bragged about, and the taxes he never mentioned. Then I did something even simpler. I asked one question on paper. If all the screens went dark tomorrow, who can still pay rent? When I finished, my page wasn't dramatic. It was just honest. My life didn't spike. It held. In the morning, Lena found the paper. "What's that?" she asked, already annoyed. "Math," I said. She scanned it, lips tightening. "You're trying to make yourself feel better." "I'm trying to be accurate," I said. She tossed it down. "Caleb doesn't live like this. He takes risks." "Risks with what?" I asked. "With no net? With no plan?" She stepped closer, eyes hard. "You don't get it. You're proud of being average." I held her gaze. "I'm proud of being responsible." She shook her head, disgusted. "I can't respect that." I nodded once. "Then we're done." Her mouth opened like she wasn't prepared for the consequence of her own words. "Seriously?" "Seriously," I said. "I'm not staying with someone who treats my discipline like a flaw." She packed over the next 2 days. No screaming, mostly sarcasm. At the door, she threw one last line over her shoulder. "Enjoy your ceiling," she said. I didn't respond. I just closed the door and felt the quiet return to the apartment, like air filling a room. After she left, my life kept doing what it was built to do. I went to work. I handled emergencies. I came home. I paid bills. I kept saving. The boring stuff kept working. Lena's life turned loud. She posted trips, rooftops, Caleb's car, captions about leaps. If you only looked at her feed, you'd think she'd escaped something terrible. Then, a few months later, her noise turned into silence. No posts, no quotes, nothing. I found out why when she showed up at my door on a Tuesday afternoon. Sunglasses on, even though the sky was gray. She stood there holding a manila folder like it weighed 50 pounds. "Can I come in?" she asked. I stepped aside. "Sure." She sat on my couch, the same couch she used to call boring, and she pulled papers out with shaking hands. "They're suing," she whispered. "People, investors, everyone." I scanned the first page. It wasn't just gossip. It was official. Complaints, names, dates, a case number. "What is this?" I asked. "Caleb's group," she said. "They froze his accounts. The payment processor reversed everything. People lost money. They say I helped promote it." Her voice cracked. I didn't know it was like that. I didn't look smug. There was nothing to be smug about. This was someone's life getting crushed by paperwork. "Where's Caleb?" I asked. She swallowed. "Gone. His phone's off. His apartment is empty. The landlord changed the locks." Her eyes flashed with panic. "Mine too. He told me he paid the rent. He didn't. My card got declined at the grocery store." I nodded slowly, keeping my tone steady. "Do you have a job?" "No," she admitted. "I quit. I was helping him. Content, calls, whatever. He said it was temporary. He said we were about to blow up. She let out a broken laugh. I don't even have insurance right now. There it was, real life, not a caption, not a meetup, a crisis with consequences. I pulled my notepad from the drawer, the same one I use for work notes, and I set it between us. Okay, I said. Here's what we're going to do. She stared at me, confused. You're going to help me? I'm going to help you get organized, I said. That's different. I wrote 3 things: lawyer, housing, income. We called legal aid. We called the county bar referral line. I told her to stop talking to anyone from Caleb's circle, stop posting, stop trying to explain herself to strangers. I told her to keep every message, every email, every screenshot. She kept crying, wiping her face fast like tears were inconvenient. I'm sorry, she said. I'm so sorry. I didn't comfort her with romance. I didn't punish her with cruelty. I just stayed clear. I remember what you said, I told her, about my salary. Her shoulders caved. I know. You called me average, I said, predictable, boring, too comfortable. I was wrong, she whispered. I thought chaos meant ambition. I looked at her and said the truth, plain. Chaos is easy to love until it sends you a bill. She stared at my kitchen, at my clean counters, at the stack of mail I'd already sorted. You're still the same, she said, like she couldn't believe consistency existed. Yeah, I said, that's the point. Over the next few days, I did what stability allows you to do. I took a half day off without begging because I had PTO. I drove her to a legal clinic in my paid-off car. I helped her fill out forms for a payment plan with the landlord so she could get her things back. I showed her how to make a basic budget that starts with food and shelter before anything else. I didn't hand her a new life. I handed her structure. Meanwhile, the ceilingless world she chased kept collapsing. More complaints, more angry messages, more silence from the people who used to comment fire emojis under her posts. One evening, after a meeting with an attorney who spoke fast and asked hard questions, Lena sat in my passenger seat and finally said it out loud. I thought your life was small, she said, but it holds. I kept my eyes on the road. That's what I built it for. She swallowed. Can we try again? She asked, voice soft. I miss being with someone safe. I pulled into a parking spot, turned off the engine, and looked at her. I'm not angry, I said. I'm not trying to teach you a lesson, but no. Her face tightened. Why not? Because you wanted me when I looked like an upgrade, I said. And you want me now because everything else is falling apart. Tears came again, quieter this time. I didn't know, she said. You did know, I answered gently. You just didn't value it. She nodded, like she hated the truth but couldn't escape it. A few weeks later, she stopped coming by. She found a room with her sister. She got a temp job. She got insurance back. Slow steps, real steps, the kind nobody claps for. The last time I saw her, she handed me an envelope with a check inside, money she'd borrowed and earned to pay back what I'd covered for the first legal consult. You didn't have to do anything, she said. I know, I replied. She looked at me for a long moment. Your salary wasn't embarrassing, she said. My choices were. I nodded once. Take care of yourself, Lena. She walked away without drama. No slamming doors, no speeches, just a woman carrying late understanding like a heavy bag. I went back upstairs, washed my hands, made dinner, and set my alarm for work. Same routine, same quiet. Not because I'm scared of dreaming bigger, because I'm done living for someone else's thrill. Stability isn't weakness. Discipline isn't fear. Predictability is protection. If this story stayed with you, subscribe for more like it. I share real stories of quiet strength here every week.